Hello. Hello, everybody. Team Canada. Happy to be back. I want to hop on tonight and I want to talk about something that used to be hard for me and became super easy once I changed my mindset. So, I am going to come on tonight and I'm going to share with you some tips about how you can, hey Jenna, how you can prospect, team build, recruit, whatever terminology you want to use, how you can make that easy. Okay, so I'm going to talk about making that part of your business building easy. But first, you probably have so many new people on this team because you guys are just rocking it and you're growing. I am Kathleen Cameron. I am a mom of two beautiful girls. I was a registered nurse, full-time entrepreneur. I had my own beautiful network marketing team. Oh, hello, my friend. I had my own beautiful network marketing team. It was amazing. I hit the top rank of that company, and it was a wonderful, wonderful journey, and it led me to where I am now. So, I am a manifestation and success coach with Bob Proctor, and I literally have figured out how to manifest whatever it is I want using my mind. And so some of you may or may not believe in this sort of thing, but I just want you to really open your mind to what's possible. I'm going to share a couple of examples. Hey, Angie, haven't seen you in a while. So I just want you to open your mind to what's possible. And I'm going to give you some tips on team building. I like to use the term team building because we tend to have a negative feeling towards prospecting or recruiting. But when you say team building, it just takes that negativity out, right? So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a bunch of different tips. I'm going to talk, I think, about five different ways that you can use your mindset to help in your recruiting or your prospecting. So I'm going to give you an example of what I've done. Okay, so when I first got into Boss Material, I wasn't a coach right away. I was a student. So I enrolled in one of his programs and it changed everything for me in my life, everything. And one of the things that was a huge quantum leap was in my team building. So recruiting, growing my team in my own personal recruits, but also in my downline. Okay, so duplication is what you want in this business. You don't want to be the only one recruiting. You want your team members to feel empowered to recruit as well. So really, it's really important that you feel comfortable doing it, and how you feel and how well you do is what is going to trickle down to your downline, to your team members, right? So I used to think that prospecting and recruiting was hard. I found it challenging and uncomfortable. Sending the message would make me feel nervous. I would send messages out and I would be afraid of the no's. I would be afraid of judgment. I would be afraid of what they were going to think of me. All of those things. So I still did it. I pushed past that feeling and I recruited, and I would recruit maybe 4 to 5 people a month into my business, which was fairly good for me at the time. I felt good with it. I got into mindset work and I started to really change things in myself. I started to change the way that I think, the way that I feel about things. I started to change my self-image. My self-image started to raise. I started to be more confident. I started to care less about what other people thought. And I changed my perspective on prospecting. So I'm going to share these things, some of these things more specifically with you guys tonight on what I changed. But I started sending out messages and didn't have that feeling anymore. Became very comfortable. I felt empowered by it. And my team started to grow very quickly. And I started to recruit 10 a month, 15 a month, 20 a month. Then I started attracting people to me as well. I started recruiting one person a day into my business. So 30 a month. That was my average, with a shift in my mindset. So I wasn't reaching out to any more people than I was before. I wasn't sending out a different message. I changed. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how you can change in here to help you with building your team. So I'm not going to tell you to work harder. I'm not going to tell you to go and change your strategy. I'm not going to tell you to go push and send to 25 more people in a week than you're averaging. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm going to tell you how you can take your current strategy, if you have one, or help you to move from that place where you're being paralyzed by fear. Because there's a lot of people that get really paralyzed. You want to grow a team, but you're so uncomfortable by this one activity that you're just dead in your tracks. So if this kind of sounds like you, just say me in the comments, or I hear you or something in the comments. Hey Desiree, good to see you, girl. So the biggest thing that I will say is that you always want to come from a place that everything that you do is done to attract your perfect teammate. So that person that you want to attract into your business. So if you don't know who that person is, you need to write it down. Like, you need to know who your avatar is. Who are you speaking to? Who is your perfect teammate? She's probably, or he's probably a lot like you. Somebody who's driven, who's motivated, who wants to be successful, who wants to grow. You want somebody with initiative, a self-starter, somebody who learns really, really easily, like things like that. So you want to think about who is it that you want to join you on your team. Write it down. So write down their qualities, exactly what it is. What type of person? Is it a woman? Is it a mother? Is it somebody who maybe is working a job that they hate, that you want to help them have the opportunity to leave their job? Like, what is it about this person that you want to help? Like, who is this person? So that's the first thing. Once you know who that person is, well, then you gear your branding, your social media posting to that person, because then that person is watching you. So then you want that person to comment on your post. You want that person to reach out to you. You want that person to start following you and watching what you're doing. Because the biggest thing that I can tell you right now is that people are watching you. They're interested, but they are not saying anything to you. I learned this firsthand. Okay, you start reaching out to people and you get responses like, oh, I've been following you for so long and wondering what you're doing, or I've been watching you and you're seeing so much success, but I don't think I could ever achieve that. So all of these things, right? They're too scared to even message you, right? So you want to make sure that you're attracting to you what it is that you want. So you have to know your avatar. You have to be that person. So if you want somebody who is strong and powerful and faces their fears, well, you got to do that, because you're going to attract who you are. So that's attracting. The other piece in attracting, which is really important, whether you're actually reaching out or not, is your own self-belief. So if you don't believe in yourself, if you do not believe in your ability to build a successful business, your ability to recruit, your ability to sell products, it shows up in your energy and your vibration. So we operate on a frequency of vibration. So we're always vibrating. It's our energy. So we're constantly in motion. When you're in a low frequency of vibration, so you're here, you are not very motivated, you're not very inspired, you don't believe in yourself, you will attract like energy. So you will attract those who don't believe in themselves, those who don't think they can accomplish anything, those that aren't very motivated. And they're not going to want to join any business because they don't believe in themselves. The other piece is when you have a low energy and you lack self-belief, you reach out to somebody about your business, they can tell by your energy that you don't believe. They're not going to join you. Now, if your energy's up here, you feel inspired, you feel motivated, you have so much belief in the company you're with, you have belief in the business opportunity, you have belief in yourself, you're going to the top. Doesn't matter if they're coming with you. You're going to attract other people up here who want that as well. The other piece is when you send those messages, you're sending a message with a higher frequency of vibration. They're going to feel that. They're going to feel your confidence. They're going to feel your energy. They're more likely to join you. Really, really important. So if you don't believe in yourself, then this is a good opportunity for you to take a look at your self-image. Our self-image is our own personal opinion of ourselves. So it's not what your husband thinks, your mother thinks, your best friend thinks, society thinks. It's what you think of yourself personally. So when my business wasn't growing, I believed in my business opportunity. I believed in my company. I believed in everything. But I didn't believe or love myself. So people are not going to join you. If you don't even love yourself or believe in yourself, how is anybody else going to join you? They're not. So the most important thing for you to do is to look at your self-image and see what needs to change. How do you change your self-image? By changing your thinking. Nobody can change your self-image for you. This was really hard for me to understand because I've always looked for recognition, feedback, what's the other word I'm looking for? Recognition, feedback, acceptance, I guess, from other people. You know, having other people, you want other people to like you, to think you're amazing, to want to join your team, all this kind of stuff. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is what you think of yourself. So you have to convince yourself how amazing you are. So you have to do this on purpose. So you have to recognize that your self-image isn't the best. You have to recognize that maybe you don't love yourself like you should. Hey, Tammy. And you need to decide that you're going to change that once and for all. So all those years of criticism that you've had, all those years of society telling you for whatever reason you can't achieve something, all of those years of programming that have kept you where you are right now and have created your current results in life, you need to say goodbye to them. And you need to make the decision that you're going to change them. So quite simply, without getting too in depth, you just need to decide what you do want to be. Who do you want to be? How do you want to see yourself? I wanted to love myself. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to be a powerful leader. So I auto-suggested all of that to my subconscious mind. So what that means is I wrote out a list of I am statements in the present tense. I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am successful. I am powerful. I am an incredible leader. People are attracted to me daily. Like these sorts of things, whatever it is you want to tell yourself. And you just literally read it out all the time. Say it to yourself in the mirror. So if you identify yourself as being bad at recruiting, bad at prospecting, you change that. I love prospecting. My team is growing rapidly. I reach out to people with ease. Because all you're doing then is you're changing the belief, the deep-rooted belief within you of what you can and can't do. So it's the same thing. You tell yourself you are not a morning person. That's just a belief about yourself that you've accepted that you continue to perpetuate. All you have to do is tell yourself over and over and over again, I'm a morning person, I'm a morning person, I'm a morning person. You will start waking up in the mornings and you will love it. Your subconscious mind accepts whatever it is you give it. Whatever it is you give it. So that's why all the criticism from the past, through repetition, it automatically went to your subconscious mind. You didn't even have a choice. But we do have a choice to choose what we want to impress upon our subconscious mind. So that's how you change your self-image. So that's really important, is to look at your self-belief of what you're capable of, what you can accomplish, all those beautiful things. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is how you see team building, how you see prospecting. So if you think that prospecting's hard, if you think that nobody responds to you, If you are uncomfortable sending messages, if you're always looking for the right thing to say, okay, that's another thing, then you have a negative perception of prospecting. You see it in a negative way. So what's going to happen is that you're doing it with a negative energy, a negative vibration. So it's when you send that message out and you're like, oh, they're going to say no, or you're expecting no's, or you're so scared that they're going to say something, you're creating that response. You're expecting a negative response. You have that fear of it. You're holding something negative. How should you see prospecting? You need to see it as something that is easy. You need to see it as something that you are comfortable doing. You need to see it as something that people say yes to. So what if right now you no longer feared prospecting? If that fear was gone, just think about that for a minute. If that fear was completely gone and you just sent out messages to people and you felt great doing it, wouldn't that be freeing? Wouldn't that be so freeing to just be like, hey, how are you doing? Love to learn more about you. I have this incredible business. I think you'd kill it. Ever thought about it? Literally, just like relaxed. If you had no fear in prospecting, your team would be rapidly duplicating. I can tell you that right now. Have you ever had somebody come in and join the business and they fly to the top? They soar. They're recruiting like crazy. They're bringing tons of people in and they go right to the top of the ranks. That person does not fear prospecting. Their desire is so big, it's bigger than their fear of prospecting. That might be hard to hear. Their desire for success is bigger than their fear of prospecting. So if you knew 100% that you prospecting is the key to your success, would you do it? If you knew that all you had to do was prospect every single day, 5 people a day, every single day, and success is inevitable, would you do it? Yes, you would do it. So I prospected 5 people a day with my new mindset, and my team grew by 30 people a month. Myself, 30 people. I recruited 30 people a month with my own mindset. So then what happens as I'm recruiting and I'm growing my team? My team's watching. They start doing it. They start to lose the fear. So then my team grew by 100 in 1 month. Boom. Because we decided that our desire of success was bigger than the fear of prospecting. Another thing that will help you with prospecting too is if you think about the impact that this business opportunity has on people's lives, okay? So look at Courtney. Courtney joining this team has made a massive impact to her own life and to hundreds of people's lives that are on this team. Can you imagine if Courtney right now was too afraid to reach out to anybody? Can't imagine that. Now, can you imagine if when she first started her business, she was too afraid to reach out? None of you would be here. So by not prospecting, not recruiting, you're keeping this incredible opportunity from people because you're scared that they're not going to say yes. You're scared that they're going to think something in your mind, in their mind, that you'll never know. And what I can tell you is that it's actually more likely that people will tell you no, they're not interested, only because they're scared. Not because they don't want to do it, because they're scared. So what we need to do then is we need to really do a gut check of, me not doing this activity is keeping me from success, and it's keeping a lot of other people from success. So I know I have something to offer people that is absolutely life-changing. It is absolutely life-changing. And so because of that, I'll shout it from the rooftops. I'll tell everybody about it, and I'll tell them they have to do it. Because I know how incredible it is. So if you don't yet know from your own personal experience with the business just how incredible your business opportunity is, you need to borrow somebody else's belief, or you need to grow your belief. How do you grow your belief? You go to the place with your goals achieved. How does it feel to be a massively successful entrepreneur with a Zaya business where you're hitting the top ranks, you're going on the trips? Go to that place in your mind, feel what it feels like, then prospect. So that's what I call inspired action, or entering into the spirit. So if you put on a football game and you're just like putzing around the house, you're not really watching it. It's just kind of in the background. That's not entering into the spirit of a football game. But when you put on a football game, you invite friends over, you make chili and all kinds of snacks, and you all sit and you watch the game, that is entering into the spirit. So can you see the difference in entering into the spirit with team building and not? So when you enter into the spirit of team building and prospecting, you literally are going into it with an inspired mindset. You are excited for what you have to offer. You're excited about growing your team. You are focused, and you send the messages out with intention. But when you don't enter into the spirit, it's strictly mechanical action. You're literally just sending messages. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Very different energy. So different. That was the difference for me. So I was sending messages, 5 messages a day. I had lack of belief. I had a low self-image. I was scared of getting a negative response. I literally would cringe as I sent the message. I recruited about 5 a month. Then I switched over to this mindset I'm telling you about. I started to believe in myself. I started to believe in the business. I grew my self-image. I came from a place of inspiration. And I really started to have more of a desire to grow my business and to change people's lives than my fear of prospecting. And my team exploded. Absolutely exploded. So those would be the 4 things that I would say are the most important things to think about when you're looking at building your team. So, are you attracting the right person? Are you coming from a place of inspiration? Do you have belief? And how do you see prospecting? If you think it's hard, you need to start telling yourself it's easy. If your team isn't duplicating, start telling yourself your team is duplicating. What you think about, you create. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about. This is the key to it all. Manifestation. Okay, so manifestation, I didn't even know what that was 9 months ago. Had never done it in my life, or thought I didn't. But manifestation is literally where you create an idea in your mind, you apply feeling and emotion, and you manifest it in the physical form. So Bob Proctor, my mentor, he calls this the #1 universal law. It's the perpetual transmutation of energy. So we use energy to take a thought in our mind and create it in the physical form in our life. So this is exactly when you go to buy your first house. You create an idea of buying your first house. You decide what kind of house you want. You figure out what your must-haves are. how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. You go and you look for it. You picture yourself in the houses, what kind of house that you want. You decide and you pick your house. You manifested your home. Okay, so we do this all day, every day. Everything we do, you manifest your lunch. You manifest your current paycheck. You're manifesting your current business. And you're manifesting your current team building results by the thoughts in your mind, the feelings that you apply to those thoughts, and through your activity, your behavior. So if you want to have drastic change in your results, okay, so if you want to double, triple, quadruple your results in your business, then you need to change the way you think, and you need to manifest what you want instead of what you don't want. So many times I would say, nobody wants to join my team. Everybody's saying no. I just can't get my butt in gear and start prospecting. I know I should, but I'm not. Those thoughts that I would be having to myself were creating more of the same. So creating more no prospecting, creating more no's, creating more of nobody wanting to join my team. So in order to manifest what you want in your life, you need to decide what it is that you want for your business, what you want for your results, what you want for your recruiting. And you need to think about nothing but what you want. What you think about, you create in the physical form. So I think about what I want all day long. I think about the results that I want. I think about the team that I want. I think about the amount of money that I want to make. I think about the house that I'm going to live in. That's how you manifest. That's what our imagination is for. You imagine your life first, create it there, and then it happens in the physical world. I don't want to get too in depth here or too woo-woo, but you can manifest whatever it is that you want by your thinking. So those are my biggest suggestions for you to think about growing your team differently. When you grow a team, it's pretty amazing because you become a leader, you become somebody that helps to mentor and raise other people up, and there's nothing more powerful than doing something for other people and not just for yourself. So I would say that you need to just decide right now that you're going to change your whole view of growing a team and start fresh. Say goodbye to what you've done in the past. Say goodbye to your thoughts about prospecting in the past. Say goodbye to maybe the feeling that you failed or the feeling that you haven't done what you should have done. No judgment. You cannot get down on yourself for that. You just move forward. Starting today, I'm going to do this. Starting today, I'm going to start fresh. Say goodbye to all that. We cannot get down on ourselves ever. It just creates a low self-image, and you want to raise your self-image up. So I hope that was helpful. That is like my top tips on how you can use prospecting. Now, of course, I actually have a training starting tomorrow. So several of you have done my trainings before. This one tomorrow is totally free. I'm actually going to go a little bit more in depth into, I would say, the 4 facets of success. So how to become a highly successful person. You have to have these 4 pillars. Okay, so I'm going to talk about decision, persistence, faith over fear, and attitude this week on my training. So if you want to join, I'm sure Courtney can just post the link to my 5-day training. The 5th day is actually just Q&A, so you can ask any questions. But just join that if you want to dig a bit deeper, if you want to learn a little bit more, if that intrigued you. But you can literally manifest anything you want. You would be shocked to hear what I've manifested in the past 6 months. And like, if you want to really ask somebody, ask Courtney, because Courtney and Nadia, even Frost. Oh, you guys, like, you're just making me proud. Anyways, we'll chat soon. Thank you so much for having me. I'll see you guys on the training this week. And just make the decision that today's a new day and you're going to really, really blow your business up, because that's how you're going to do it. It's just a decision in your mind. Have a great night.